Michiganders are fed up with the direction our state is going in politically, and this is exactly why I ran to become chair of the Michigan Republican Party, and I'm honored to continue serving you in that capacity. But there's an important message that I must deliver to you in order for people to be able to separate truth versus fiction and to understand exactly where we are going at the Michigan Republican Party. Our primary goal is to win elections with constitutionalist Republicans to ensure that we, the people of Michigan, have better political representation. And part of that mission has required us to fight pervasive political corruption. As you all know, that most Michiganders and Americans as a whole have very little faith in their elected officials and the political system. Why is that? Because money has become more important than the mission. Ronna McDowell, you admitted to me that I'm still legally the chair of the Michigan Republican Party. And the RNC has no authority to override the precinct delegates or the state central committee. According to RNC rule number 3, the duly elected chair of the state party is to be seated as an RNC member. And since I'm still legally the chair, why was I not credentialed as an RNC member? This is egregious that the RNC feels they have the authority to override the will of the state central committee and the delegates. But as you began to pull back the curtain more and more, you began to see that there was a deeply well-funded effort to sabotage this movement that is focused on constitutionalism and better political representation. Let me introduce you to a law firm, Warner, Norcross, and Judd. Since my tenure as chairwoman, we've had some very interesting interactions with this law firm. One of their partners, Troy Cummings, who is an assistant attorney general, we have obtained an audio recording of calling state committee members, falsely accusing me of corruption and trying to encourage them to sign the petition to take up the vote to remove me.
Well, that's kind of why in the analysis I really thought it was important to talk about the leadership style, because if you're an educated person and you have any involvement with any type of organizations, yeah, you should be able to see Karamo coming from a mile away. Everything she does is right in line with this authoritarian kind of like freaking Hitler, right? It's crazy.
Additionally, Mr. Cummings, we have learned, is going to be part of the RNC's election integrity legal team. This gets more strange. Mr. Cummings prepared a bogus report that was filled with a series of false accusations. In Mr. Cummings' report, he tried to make a series of false accusations, including he cited a Project 65 complaint against our general counsel. Project 65 is an entity that is going after the law licenses of election integrity lawyers. Now I'll let you connect the dots. Why would a man who's an former assistant attorney general, a partner at a law firm, Warner, Norcross, and Judd, which the RNC has paid them for legal services, who was also going to be part of the RNC's legal team to fight election integrity, why would he prepare a report that cites Project 65, an entity that's trying to strip the law licenses away from election integrity lawyers? But let's keep going with Warner, Norcross, and Judd. Additionally, Jonathan Lauterbach, who's also a partner at Warner, Norcross, and Judd, is representing the opposing side in 3 litigations against the Michigan Republican Party. One is a case in Hillsdale where there was a dispute over who the chair of the Hillsdale County Republican Party is. Mr. Lauterbach is also opposing counsel in the lawsuit dealing with the Michigan Republican Party Trust and Comerica Bank. Mr. Lauterbach is also opposing counsel in the lawsuit where former co-chair Melinda Pago is suing me to claim that I'm no longer chair of the Michigan Republican Party.
I know that I was used for Kristina to win, and now I know that I'm used by other thugs to vote her out.
Again, Mr. Lauterbach is a partner at Warner, Norcross, and Judd. Additionally, one of the plaintiffs in this lawsuit is Mr. Warren Carpenter, where we also have obtained audio recording of Mr. Carpenter threatening state committee members to sign the petition to take up the vote to remove me.
You are a weak coward. I'm so furious with you right now. You know better than this. You'll never hold a single office anywhere in your life again. And I hope that you share this with everybody. because I'm coming.
Mr. Cummings, also a partner at Warner Norcross and Judd, who I mentioned earlier, and Mr. Carpenter have been working together on the effort to remove me as chair.
Hey, it's Troy Cummings. How are you?
Warren just told me to give you a call.
Why is Warner Norcross and Judd partners so interested in trying to undermine the efforts of this current administration? Now let's get into some other interesting facts about Warner Norcross and Judd. They also represented Goshen. If you are unfamiliar with that matter, the Goshen Battery Factory is a Chinese Communist Party entity who is attempting to build a battery factory in mid-Michigan. This battery factory would have been 100 miles away from Camp Grayling, which is the largest National Guard training facility in the United States of America. It also would have been near Muskegon River, which obviously poses massive concerns to have a CCP entity building a battery factory near one of our military facilities and near a large source of water. This poses obvious national security concerns. However, Warner Norcross and Judd is representing them. Additionally, Warner Norcross and Judd represented GBI strategies. If you paid attention or are aware into the Muskegon County election fraud investigation, there was a situation where a city within Muskegon County, the clerk contacted the local police regarding a woman coming into her clerk's office and turning in thousands of voter registration forms, with many having the same handwriting. Upon an investigation, the local police found that there was a facility where they conducted a raid. They found guns with suppressors and optics and Pelican cases, in addition to burner phones, disposable credit cards, and voter registration forms. What type of voter registration operation were they conducting? Well, of course, as we know, the Attorney General stepped in, the feds took the case over, and the local police were kicked out of it, and we hear no more. Put a kibosh on that. But who's the law firm representing GBI strategies? Warner Norcross and Judd. Now, it seems, if you consider all that this administration has been fighting for, our goal is to win elections. Our goal is to transform the Michigan Republican Party into a winning machine that fights for constitutionalism. Of course, those who want and benefited from the corrupt status quo are going to do everything to fight that. And it just seems that the individuals and entities who are at the forefront of collapsing our republic just so happen to be represented by Warner Norcross and Judd, the same law firm whose partner is involved in a fraudulent effort to remove me as state chair.
Yeah, you should be able to see Karamo coming from a mile away. Everything she does is right in line with this authoritarian kind of like freaking Hitler, right?
You connect the dots. My point to you is that we cannot tolerate this, and you have to know the truth of what's going on. There has been an ongoing and very well-funded and coordinated effort to pit precinct delegates against one another, to create chaos so the old order can return. Politics is dominated by three major things: bribery, blackmail, and bullying. And when you won't submit to those three, there's going to be an effort to destroy you, because those three elements allow for corrupt individuals to remain in office. We need a righteous renaissance within the Republican Party that restores us to our constitutionalist principles and our Judeo-Christian values. And those who don't want that, who've benefited, made millions from the corrupt status quo, obtained massive amount of power, or are themselves globalists, are going to do everything they can to disrupt and destroy. And they're going to have millions of dollars going into that effort. And many people will be shocked to know how many of your favorite conservative influencers and voices are on the take too. It's really sad to watch. But this is why our political system has been so corrupt. And the only way to fix it isn't going to be some political savior. It's going to be you and your friends and your family getting involved, understanding the system, and being good stewards of your community. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be brutal, but it's necessary to save the republic. God bless. and I look forward to continuing to serve as your chairwoman.